students, welcome to my first video lecture of Standard 6 Chapter 4 Basic Geometry Ideas. In this video lecture, I will introduce the basic geometry concepts. So let's start. A point. First one is point. Point determines a location or a position. A point is represented by a dot and capital letters are used to name the points. Suppose if I want to show you the point, how will I show you the point? This can be a point, this can be a point, this can be a point. So like this you can show the point. So and how we will you give name to the point? So capital A, if this will be a point, then capital B. So capital letters will be used to represent the point. As soon as tip of pen or pencil comes in contact with paper, a point is obtained. A point determines a location. Why should we need point? Point is needed to determine a location. A point is represented by dot like this. If it is a point, then we should give a one name to that point. A, suppose. We can give any name, but it should be in capital letter. A point has no dimensions such as length, width or thickness. That means point doesn't have any dimension. Point does not have length, width or thickness. And point should be represented by capital letters like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, any one, which one you would like to use. That one you can use to represent the point. Next one is a plane. Plane is any flat and smooth surface which extend endlessly in all the dimensions. Here I have shown you this arrow, which you can see that these arrows. What does this arrow shows? I can show arrows like this also. So what is this arrow is showing? It is showing this plane can be extended this side, it can be extended this side, it can be extended this side, it can be extended this side. So plane which is extends endlessly in all the direction. You can extend plane in any direction, and how much you want to extend, that much only you can extend. Now plane has two dimensions. One is length and second one is width. So what is the length? This one is called length. So this is length. Okay, and this one is width. So this one is this one is width. So these two widths are plane, both will be same, and this one is length, this one will be also same. So a plane is any flat and smooth surface which extend endlessly in all the direction. How can it endlessly extended? I have shown you. A plane has two directions called length and width. Plane has two directions, length and width, but has no thickness. Plane doesn't have thickness. It has only length and width. A plane has no boundary. You cannot bound plane. It is endlessly extended. You can extend endlessly. For example, surface of top of the roof table. The example of plane are paper. Any paper can be said plane. A wall floor can be said plane. Then table roof also, tabletop is also a plane. We can't draw a plane on a paper. Only a part of it can be drawn. If we suppose to, this is the plane. So it is a simple part of plane. You cannot, whole plane can be drawn on the paper because it can be extended. So it can be like this, go away endlessly. That's why plane can't be drawn on paper. what we are drawing on the paper it is a part of a plane. Now we are going to discuss a line segment. What is the line segment? Line segment correspond to the shortest distance between the 2 points in a plane. Suppose we are having 2 points A and B. So when we join these 2 points, it will become a line segment. So the straight path from A to B is called the line segment. So this is, I have shown you the line segment A and B. So, and how it can be denoted? So line segment can be denoted by like this. When you want to show the line segment, you have to do like this. So it can be read as a line segment AB. So A and B are called end of the line segment. The line segment AB is the same as line segment BA. You can read AB, line segment AB, and you can read line segment BA. Both are same. And the most important thing is, for line segment, you can measure length of the line segment. By using scale, you can measure the length of line segment. Now, a line, most important topic. A line segment can be extended endlessly in both directions. What is the basic difference between line and line segment? Line segment is only like this. There is no arrow. But here you can see that arrow. What is the meaning of this arrow? This arrow shows that this can be go endlessly both sides. So what is the line? So a line segment AB can extended in both sides and marked by arrow at the two end represented line AB. It is denoted by line. And how we can denote a line? Line can be denoted like this. If we want to write down line segment, it can be written like this. And if you want to write down line AB, then arrow must be there. So it is the basic difference between line segment and line. And you cannot measure the length of line. A line has no end point. A line is endless, so it cannot be drawn on a paper like plane. We can draw a part of a line only on the paper. A line has no definite length. Why definite line does not have? Because we cannot measure line because it goes endlessly both sides. When it does not have any end, then how can we measure the length of line? A line has infinitely many points. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When you arrange this point properly together, then it can perform one line. So whatever it is, line segment or line, it can be performed. It is a simple collection of points which are arranged in a one path. One straight path, then it can perform a line segment or a line. A line has infinitely many points. We use small case letters. How can we show the line? If you write down line, then you can write down line L. It can be written line like this, line B. So small letters are used to show the line. Now next one is a ray. So what is the basic difference between ray and line? The basic difference between ray and line is line has line goes endlessly in two directions. But a ray is a part of line which starts from a point. So ray has one end point and one side it goes endlessly. So this is the basic difference. This is line segment, this is line, and this is ray. The most basic difference between line and ray is line doesn't have any endpoint, ray has one endpoint, and in second side it goes endlessly. Similarly, we cannot measure the ray because it goes endlessly in one direction. So, sun rays are the most common example of ray. The sun, in other words, a line segment extended endlessly in one direction is called a ray. This is the definition of ray. A ray has no definite line. Similarly, line doesn't have any definite line. Similarly, ray also doesn't have any definite line. Only line segment has definite length. The initial point is used along with one more point on the ray to present a ray. So to present a ray, 2 points are used. Here 1. So A is showing the initial point. From A, the ray will start and then it goes endlessly, and B can be used. So we can read it as a ray AB. It cannot be read as a BA, ray BA. Why? Because the A is the end point of ray. That's why. You cannot read like line segment. There is a difference. Pairs of lines. So intersecting lines. 2 lines are called intersecting lines if they have one common point. Here you can see that this line and this line, 2 lines are intersecting each other here on one point P. So line AB and XY, which one is AB? You can say any one to AB and any one to XY. Suppose this one is AB and this one is XY. Both are intersecting on the point P. So they have one common point P. So P is called the point of intersection of the given lines. And these lines are called intersecting lines. Now concurrent line. Concurrent lines are also like intersecting lines. The difference is when two lines are intersecting each other and they are having one common point, then it is called intersecting lines. But if 3 or more than 3 lines, here you can see this 1, 2, 3 and 4 lines are intersecting each other. So the end of this line is this, end of this line is this, end of this, this is the second side, and here also this one. So here you can see that when if 3 or more than 3 lines are called concurrent lines, if all of them pass through the same common point. Here you can see that all lines are passing through the common point P. So common point is P is called the point of concurrent. So P is the point of concurrent, and all these lines are called concurrent lines. So what is the difference between intersecting lines and concurrent lines? When the number of lines increased, it will be called concurrent lines. When only 2 lines are intersecting each other, it is called intersecting lines. But when the number of lines are increased, it will call concurrent lines, nothing else. Both of them are having same one common point. Parallel lines. What is the parallel lines? The distance between any 2 pair of lines. Here you can see that the distance between these 2 lines is same. Both of them do not meet at any point. Both of them do not meet at any point. If the lines could be produced through any distance beyond the page of the book, they would never meet. Here you can see that if I will draw a line like this, and like this, then they will not meet at any point. If it will be like, then they will also will not meet at any point. So they are called parallel lines. I can give you one simple example. By that example you can understand parallel line very clearly. Railway lines, railway tracks. All of you have seen railway tracks. You can see that the railway tracks go endlessly. They go endlessly, but they never meet each other. And the distance between two tracks will be same forever. It cannot be changed. So, railway track is the best example for parallel lines. Two lines in a plane which do not intersect each other at any point when produced indefinitely in either directions are called parallel lines. So these are the parallel lines. Now next one is perpendicular line. So what is the perpendicular line? Simple. These both lines are intersecting each other on one common point. But the main thing is, the both lines when they intersect at right angles. Here you can see that they both are intersecting and they are making 90-degree angle. That's why they are called perpendicular line, and this symbol shows AB and CD. Suppose this one is AB line and this one is CD line. So AB and CD are in perpendicular line. So it will be shown like this, AB perpendicular CD. They are called intersecting also because they are having one common intersect point. So all perpendicular lines are intersecting lines, but all intersecting lines are not perpendicular line, because you can see these two lines are intersecting, but they are not perpendicular because the angle is not 90 degree. When the angle is only 90 degree, then only you can say that intersecting lines are perpendicular lines. So what most important thing you have to keep in your mind, all perpendicular lines are intersecting lines, but all intersecting lines are not perpendicular lines. A perpendicular line AB intersects the line segment CD at midpoint M, then AB is called the perpendicular line. I am having this line AB and this CD, they are meet at common point M. So this point M is called perpendicular midpoint, then it is called perpendicular bisector. What is the meaning of perpendicular bisector? If they are intersecting, they are making 90-degree angle, but at the midpoint, suppose I am having this line and this is the midpoint. If other line will perpendicular to this line AB, so then it is bisector. It is called bisector. But if it will be like this, then it will not be called bisector. Suppose I am having line this AB and this line is perpendicular, but it is not bisector. Why? Because it is not passing through the midpoint, because the midpoint of AB is here and this line CD is not passing through from this midpoint. So it is perpendicular. They are making 90-degree angle, but they are not intersect at the midpoint. Then AB is called, here CD is not called perpendicular bisector. It will called perpendicular bisector when only they will pass through the midpoint of the AB. If it will be like then only CD is called perpendicular bisector. Understood? Here we can see DE is a bisector of AB but not perpendicular bisector of AB. Why? Suppose this one is DE and this one is AB. Here you can see that DE is perpendicular to AB. Bisector, it is bisector because it is going through midpoint, but it is not perpendicular because it doesn't make 90-degree angle. This is not 90-degree angle. So here DE is a bisector, but it is not perpendicular. When both will happen together, perpendicular and bisector, then only it is called perpendicular bisector. Otherwise it will not call